Running? Right, okay. Well, I thought you were going to like...
Get on with it, man.
Okay. Welcome everybody to episode 3. As you can see by the palm trees behind, that there is no boat. And the reason is that we are currently, producer John and I are in Fuerteventura for 10 days. So we're having a break from it. But we've managed to edit and get episode 3 together, which is going to be a special one for us and I hope for you, and it's all about painting the hull of the boat. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe and also like if you would, as obviously I've never said that before, but like I said, it's all new to me, and I would be grateful, and thank you for everybody that has taken the time to have a look at our video. I hope it's been useful. And all I can say is that there's more to come. Thank you very much. Bye for now. Hi everybody, welcome back. It's going to be a nervous day, but it's what I would regard as a groundbreaking day, because all my efforts put into doing the prep work on this hull with the fillers and the grey primers, etc. Has now come to the point where we're going to be putting some colour. In the background you will see some colour. Where the recesses of the wood are going to go, I decided, or should I say I couldn't resist, just having a little look to see what it looked like in the way of colour. So yesterday I put a very thin layer of paint in there, and actually it's a good thing, because when I do what I'm going to do, which is called roll and tipping, I'm going to use that area as a break. So when I drop my roller down, it just lands in here, which I'm calling no man's land. And I can do that bit and I can do that bit. So I've decided that the best place to start this will be the whole area where there is no recessed pieces. So I'm going to start at the bow end, and I'm going to work my way to the back of the boat. So that's the area that we're going to start with first. So as I said to you, I'm going to do a method called rolling and tipping. I've done a lot of research and I've watched a lot of videos on people that have done it. This is my first attempt, so please don't criticise me too much, because this is the first time I've ever done this. I'm hoping that it's going to go well, but it is only the first coat, because I will be flattening it off and then putting another coat on top of that. So I'm not over bothered, but for some reason I am quite nervous about doing it. So should we get started? Okay, so the tools for the job. I've got a foam roller, I've got a tray, I've got the paint already mixed and ready in there. When I say mixed, I've got two small cans and I've mixed them together, so then there's no real colour difference. I don't think there is, because at the time I bought those, which is quite a while back, they were both at the same time, so I don't think there'll be a colour issue, but just in case, I did mix them both together. So we've got a small roller, and it's a foam roller. That'll do the rolling side. Then I've got a dry brush, quite a wide one, 4-inch, good quality one. That's going to stay in there dry, and I've got a small one that I'm going to use just to cut in, if I miss a bit, around these edges here. Just to cut it in rather than use that roller. So they are going to stay over there for a bit. So my first job is to start getting some of this paint on with the roller, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do when I come to tip it. So we load up the foam brush. Now, from what I've learnt is to spread it quite well, because it does have a tendency to create runs if you're not careful. So here we go. Put a layer on. and get as close to the edge as I can, but you'll notice, I think the camera may just pick up on that, that it has quite a lot of bubbles in it. That's no problem, that's all part of the process, from what I can gather. Probably need to put some more paint on that because it doesn't look like it's loaded enough. Get some more on. That feels better. Just felt a bit too dry, the first one.
Looks better as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, it seems to be covering better.
Right, let's try this tipping thing.
No, I can't yet.
Oh, right.
You're trying to rush me and I can't do that. Okay, so we've got the first bit on. Take the small brush and we'll just cover these areas to start with. Just the areas where I've actually done the coverage, and just push the paint up the top there, I think is going to be the best way. Okay, right.
What have you used to mask?
I've used a blue lining tape. It's slightly better than the normal traditional beige tape. Basically what this does is when you peel it off, it doesn't take the paint off. It's like a lining tape, so it's quite easy to remove without damaging the surface that you're obviously painting up to. So here comes the tipping side. So the idea with the tipping, from what I've researched, is that you use the side of the brush and the edges of the brush, and hopefully, well, you can see that the bubbles are starting to dissipate now, which is a good sign. And when I slide it across, it should end up with a really nice finish. So here we go. So there you have it. Obviously I need to just touch in over there because it's dragged it away from the... I think that looks pretty good to me. Now that, as it starts to dry, you'll lose, in fact it's already losing the brush strokes. It just tends to blend itself in and it loses everything. So let me just put some more paint on that side. I was frightened of getting drips on it, to be honest. I think I'll load that side up and then drag across. I mean, the weather at the moment, from where I am at is not over warm, so that's going to help me a bit. So I'm not going to dry so quick. That's what I'm hoping. And then what I'll do is I'll drag across. Like so. There we go, I'm happy with that. So we've got off to a start, which is the hardest bit. Now what we've done is we created a wet edge. So basically what we'll do now is I'll get this section done and then I'll come back up, do another block, and then what I'll do is I'll start the tipping from the dry to the wet. So I know roughly where I've finished, and I will roller just over it to create a wet edge again, and then I will then start tipping from that side over to roughly where this is. I know where it is for about there. You always pick up a landmark to roughly where you were, and then I will bring it across with the brush, and we'll just keep continuing until we've gone that way. So I must keep motoring on, otherwise I'll end up with a dry section. Right. I'm just going over the finished edge where I was before. You notice I'm not putting any paint there yet. I don't want too much over there because, as I said, this does have a tendency to run, and with that being the top, I don't want it to run down. So now's the time, now that I've got this fairly dry, I can just go across the top there. Keep spreading it out evenly.